Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of the PogTakesPogcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Takeout Mars, and I'm joined by not everybody this time because not everyone can make it today, as you can see in our display. So why don't the rest of the boys introduce themselves?
I'm Gabe.
I'm Easton.
My name is Mike.
And I'm Kringy.
All right, cool. So we have actually a lot to discuss today. We have our opinions and thoughts on Firebase Z, which released last week, or no, 2 weeks ago now.
February 4th.
And
It feels like it's been a month.
We also have the information released today for season 2, which launches next Thursday, or this upcoming Thursday, I should say. And we have our look at the Borderlands cast and why it's not good, and maybe something else. So let's get started. Who wants to open us up with Firebase Z?
I will start.
Okay, I'll let Gabe do it. Gabe deserves it.
Yeah, Gabe.
So, Firebase Z is honestly, I have amazing amounts of fun with it, and it's not just in comparison to Die, which no disrespect to Die, just when you have 2 months of the same map, you get bored. Firebase Z mimics, I love them. They're fun. They're scary. And they will just, I love the jump scares you get from them sometimes. Manglers, I was a little disappointed to see them come back, not because like they're unoriginal or anything, just because I never liked Manglers the first time around. But they're not bad now. I think they're going to get a lot better with some of the stuff we're going to get for season 2. And the Easter egg, relatively simple. I think the only disappointing part of the Easter egg is the boss fight. I think that it's the fact that on round 30, I think round 30, the fact that you face the boss, and then if you don't complete the Easter egg before round 30, you have to fight the boss again on your way out. That's kind of like, okay, it's the same boss back to back. Cool. I mean, I don't understand, like, whatever. But all in all, I would definitely give this map, like, at least an 8 out of 10. It's really good. And for the second piece of content.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go next. Firebase Z. First original map we've had since 2016. Going into this map, I was, very concerned that, there'd be some Shinonuma aspects and people would be, pissed off, because of reused assets. But I load into the spawn room. Everything on the entire map is original, and I love it. I love everything about it. And one of my favorite aspects after I beat my first game was the fact that they brought back the game over laugh that we haven't heard since 2013 in Die Rise, and that was awesome. And if there's one little con I will say is I feel like the addition of Tombstone is a little bit disappointing. But other than that, the Ray K is in my top 5 favorite wonder weapons. The map layout's really great for progression. I love the Easter egg. The Easter egg song Lost is also pretty good. And I don't have anything bad to say about the map other than the Manglers are a little bit too beefy.
Actually, Mike, I just want to say something. You're wrong. The game over laugh was in Revelations, depending where you died or ended your game.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. I mean, technically
it does.
Technically it does.
But it's nothing new. It's like the laugh. It's like the laugh isn't in any new tracks or whatever. It's just it's reused in Revelations.
Neither is the one in Firebase. The one in Firebase is over the Origins outro song.
That still sounded different to me. So,
but either way,
it was nice hearing it because when you play Revelations, wherever you die or whatever, you're like, it's like we're died in Origins or Mob of the Dead. You didn't hear the laugh, and I haven't played Revelations all that much.
Well, hang on.
But when you hear it from Die Rise, because after Die Rise, that was the last time we ever heard that laugh. And to hear it come back in this map, I was like, holy shit.
What on Revelations, what are you doing in Origins?
I trained near the VMP wall by. It actually somehow works. But that's why I'm playing with friends. Don't grill me. I normally just train in the spawn room pretty much. That's why I don't really hear the laugh too much. I mean, I know the laugh is there, but since it's, in a part of Kino, it's like it doesn't count to me at least.
Well, it's also in Noct and Varuk, don't forget.
Yes, I am also aware of that. I just said Kino as an example.
Actually, I don't know if it's in Kino.
It is.
All right, so I guess I'll go next. I'll talk about. I really like Firebase C. It's a very large step in quality as compared to D Machina, and Firebase Z, like Mike said, is the first original Ether map you could say since Revelation.
I say 2016,
but. I think that the way the map is laid out, it's very simple, and people are like, "Oh, this map's so big." It's like it takes like 3 seconds to get from point A to point B, and that's on foot. You know, like it just and like when you turn on if you turn on the power the right way, I'm not gonna say the right way because I guess there's no right way when it gives you
in
the
a particular
choice.
way, like
yeah,
going
sure,
around
use
method at least.
if you use like our method, the way we go around the map, you get the whole map opened within a span of like 2 rounds, as long as every zombie goes into the ether reactors. In terms of the Easter egg quest, I think I like it more because we were there and we figured it out ourselves on day 1 when it launched on that Friday morning. And like Gabe
Without
said,
help from the devs, you stupid big YouTubers.
damn.
There is one thing I would like to just jump in on that little thing that Gabe, if you don't mind me, Sam, quickly.
That's fine.
It's kind of hard not to like know with this egg. They really do a good job in like having you be kind of told what you're needing to be doing exactly at the moment because of how the story is driven for it and like the dialogue from like whoever the heck is in your ear, whether it's Ravenov, Peck, Weaver, or
Dr.
whoever
Seuss.
the 3.
That is a common like criticism for Cold War, that everyone kind of just in your ear telling
The
you what to do.
hand-holding.
Yeah.
The hand-holding can be a pain.
I mean, look what happened with World War II. They tried making it hand-holding or whatever for like the final Reich Easter egg, and fans got rightfully pissed off.
I mean, that was
So
a
then when they
casual
removed the
egg.
notebook, people got pissed off even more. So when this, they're like, fuck you guys, we're going to make the game how we want it. So I don't blame them.
Hey, more power to them.
Yeah.
The devs need to stand up to the fans, honestly,
Yeah, definitely.
Let's call
And
them
the YouTube-
losers.
and the YouTube community especially. But anyway, continue, Sam.
But I was just gonna say I agree with Gabe. The boss fight is severely underwhelming because you spend you do all that work through the quest and you rescue Samantha and you do all that just to fight the boss that you're gonna fight on round 30 plus anyways. So it's kind of like nah. But the implications of the story going forward, it not being Kino, I think that we have a lot of good content ahead of us.
Yeah. I'm going to let Kringy go next.
Kind of like the last podcast, I like to take more of a casual perspective from it just because I don't really... I kind of play zombies as just a casual player, and honestly, I mean, it's kind of refreshing to have a map like this, just kind of big and open. You can kind of just roam around, I guess. And for me, I'm just kind of going for late rounds, not really trying too hard to do the Easter egg. Actually, I haven't even done the Easter egg now that I think about it.
Oh.
Probably should do that with you guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than the FOV glitch, I mean, it's a glitch. It'll get fixed. I mean, I
needs to
love
get
the map
fixed.
a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so my thoughts on Firebase Z. Like, I basically kind of agree with everybody here on, like, everything they've said so far. Like, some things, like, I really like for this map's version of, like, the coffin egg, which is shown in the gameplay currently playing. Just, that bunny, that's some scary shit.
Yeah,
Like, it's just chilling there, and you're just looking at it, it's like, I mean, look at this dude. I mean, you can look at a bunch of you can look at a bunch of like the Firebase Z like .exe videos that are currently out on YouTube right now, and they use the same sort of meme format where it's like the bunny's just chilling there, and then it'll turn to look at you, and if you keep staring, whoop, right now, and you're just in the dark, and you have to just run to find it and just spray it down until you get the coffin.
And shipwrecks.
Yeah, just the mimics. They give me trust issues now.
Yeah, I don't know if I can trust.
Yeah, like
salvage
when the
drops
salvage
going
is
forward.
sus.
No, the mimics are not like I still have like I still trust like the drops, but if like the drops are somewhere random on the map where you didn't kill zombies, I know it's fake.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I have to say, when it came to hunting for the egg, I will say this for the sake of like Sam and I, and like the two people we were running with, like we were running with Spike and Pete as well, right?
Yeah.
The fact that we were stuck on trying to figure out what the hell Sergey had to do with anything.
Oh yeah.
When all that was just a
Oh,
side
no.
egg for some intel and a free perk. And of course, like because beforehand, like not knowing exactly what the heck you were supposed to do for the Mimic capturing step with the Pokeballs, or SS Traps as they're actually known as in game, but forget you, it's Pokeballs.
Yeah.
Everybody calls them Pokeballs now, and like the Reiki, oh my god, like it feels refreshing to have. It basically is a Mark IV. Let's be real.
It's also a wonder weapon that doesn't rely on elemental luck upgrades or anything like that. Like it's good on its own merit.
And the fact that like in this, for the sake of the story, like the story implications of the Reiki, the fact that the blueprint that was used to make this prototype was Kukle getting these findings from the Ethernauts of the blueprints of the Mark III from Gorod Krovi. And just like you were mentioning a lot in your review, Sam, of this map, like and we've definitely talked about it, there's a lot of Gorod Krovi.
Yeah, this
like,
map feels
nods.
like just like the Shadowed Throne felt very Gorod Krovi inspired, but like this map also takes a page out of that book.
I mean, yeah, like I feel like because like the Manglers, you've got the whole situation with the Reiki and the upgraded Monkey Bomb side egg, which I have to say I was surprised to find out that was a thing. And also, the one thing I find funny as well is like the dancing that the zombies actually do around it when you throw it. It gave me some Infinite Warfare Zombies vibes.
I was definitely getting some Boombox vibes from.
Yeah, I was getting some Boombox vibes as well. And just I have to say, like, Orda seemed so cool at first, but then kind of became just more of a, like, again with this, like, to quote Ravenov very well, I feel like, during that end part before you start the fight, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And, like, I will say, like, with the updates that the game has had for, like, camos progression, like, with the elite kill camos for, like, working on, like, Dark Ether, I like the change that now Manglers and Mimics are included and Orda counts as 3. The only problem I do personally have with it at this point is that you're never going to be able to make use of Orda for it because of the overabundance of those special enemies that are on Firebase Z. I'd like to see where they take that going forward, hopefully. I mean, heck, we'll talk about a little bit of that whenever we get into the Season 2 stuff, and we want to also talk about the trailer a little bit from what we saw in the trailer.
Before we even go into the Season 2 stuff, I want to, like, talk with everyone in this chat about, like, how, and this is, like, kind of going with Gabe a little bit. I remember before Firebase Z came out, we were all excited to, have Tombstone Soda as a part of our arsenal of perks. And then it comes out, we max it out to tier 3, and as soon as we kind of realize, the Tombstone effect of it, along with the Who's Who effect, we're kind of a little bit let down to where I buy Elemental Pop first, and then Tombstone last.
Yeah, perk is literally only good for solo. And if you're playing a team game, if you're playing a 4-player game and your teammates aren't going to revive you, then sure, grab it because your teammates are assholes. But the fact that A, you don't get your perks back, B, you have to pay to get your guns back. Like, what the hell's the point of me bleeding out and respawning if I have to pay $30,000 at round 30 to get my shit back? That's stupid. Like, it's the implementation of it is terrible, and I kind of worry about the perks because if, as a friend of mine pointed out the other day, there's 3 empty slots now that Tombstone is here on the Wonderfist machine, which means we're hypothetically getting 3 more perks.
Not hypothetically, we are getting 3 more perks.
Yeah,
we're getting 3 more perks. What 3 perks? And if they bring back old perks, like, what are they going to do? Oh, okay, we're going to bring back Vulture's Aid, but now you don't get ammo off the ground, you don't get extra points off the ground. Oh, and it might give you back more salvage. Like, what? No.
Well, the thing you have to realize about upgrades is that it's always a watered-down version of the perk, and then when you get it to tier 3, you get the original perk back. So
that's still not the case with Tombstone.
Because, like, with Tombstone,
but the thing is they were trying to mesh ideas because you can't. Who's Who and Tombstone are 2 completely different things, but they aren't useful enough to require 2 different perk slots. Like, I don't use Tombstone often enough to waste a perk slot on it, nor do I use Who's Who enough for it to
who's who you're forced to have it. Like, if I'm to quickly interject on that, like who's who you're normally forced to have it on die rise because of getting free perk if you're just melee only on jumping jack rounds.
Well, that's the thing too is with Tombstone, I feel like if they were going to mesh the two, they could have just said, okay, hey, you don't get the bleed out option until you have it level 3. Okay, but instead of it being a bleed out thing, how about this? If you bleed out, you have to pay to get your shit. You don't have to pay to get your shit back, but you can get your shit back, but you only get 3 of the perks. Okay, cool, and you get your guns and all that. But if you revive yourself with tier 3 Tombstone, which is also tier 3 Who's Who, then you get all your shit back regardless, and you just have to buy Tombstone again. That's how it should work. Because if you're going to get, and I mean, especially if you're going to make zombies be allowed to hit you in Who's Who now too, like, bruh, come on, like, give us something that, like, you literally took the old perks and said, what if we just broke these and not in the good way? All right, that's cool.
I think my thing about Tombstone is that it's not just useful for solo, because like you said, like if your team isn't going to revive you, that's your one way out to get out of your situation. And
without having to craft unlimited
self revives. And the thing about it is, my real only problem with it is having to pay to get your stuff back, because there's no reason that I should be punished for bleeding out when it's a choice that I make, right? Like, if I go down and I know you guys can't get to me, I'm just going to go in my Tombstone Shadow and kill myself, because I know I'll come back with my stuff. And the thing is like, you lose your points, but you get your salvage, and your gun stays exactly where you had it, which, you know, how this game works, your gun is going to be good enough for where you're at, like when you bleed out usually, right? Yeah. Because this game, it has a certain sense of, like, you need to keep up with it, because if you fall behind, you're gonna die.
There is a little bit of an issue that does come with that, I feel, as well, though, because, like, from what I remember, like, Jackson telling us about, is that, like, he tried switching classes when he bled out.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then when he went to pick up his Tombstone, he just lost whatever gun was in his new loadout and just got whatever guns he had back, which is kind of annoying thinking about it like that, but I can understand why it's set up like that. The perk thing, I like the idea of keeping, like, because, like, with how the game is with Cold War, like, if you have, like, all the perks, you're going to lose all but 3 when you go down. Mm-hmm. Those 3 should be the ones that you should be able to come back with.
Well, not just that, too. If you pay all of your money, because that's what it costs damn near all your money to get your Tombstone back, how am I going to buy perks if I don't get them back? How am I going to do that? You took all my money, so now I have guns, and I have to run away, and if we're on round 30, the zombies are doing 75 damage a hit. I'm at 150 health. I'm 2 hits, and I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get armor. I don't get armor back. So, you know, what exactly you have your salvage, you can go buy armor. Okay, cool, yeah. What if I didn't have that much salvage? What if I bled out after I just upgraded my gun? And
perk needs a lot of fine-tuning.
Yeah, they kind of just shat it out for the publicity, and now of course one of their excuses is, well, back when we first implemented Tombstone in Black Ops 2, it really wasn't meant to keep your perks. Remember, you had to buy Tombstone last. Okay, that's cool. That excuse is also a big fucking cop-out.
Yeah, but I mean, also, now I'm thinking about it, I do remember the days of being in a private game with my friends and I, and we just forcibly down ourselves, go into Tombstone, and, like, have, like, the cheapest perks left over that we need to buy those plus Tombstone before picking up our Tombstone.
The six perk and rainbow perk challenge, of course.
The Tombstone glitch, like.
Yeah, the Tombstone glitch back in Black Ops 2.
Everyone did that, and it was amazing.
Yeah, but that's exactly it, though. The perk allowed you to do that, and when you came back, and got to keep your money. From the economic standpoint alone, I mean, it already costs $50,000 to get your gun through 3 packs. You also, so if you are running 2 guns and you're not running, you know, like a Ray K or something,
14.
You know,
you're looking at
running,
approximately like
you're running
3,000 high grade salvage and 3,000 green salvage.
Yes, so you're running You're running what is it? 6,000 salvage total to upgrade both of those guns. You're also going to need $100,000 to get both of them to max pack. Obviously, 4,000 to get both of them to have an alternate ammo type. You know, you also have to have 1,000 or 1,500 green salvage for armor and 250 more blue for level 3 armor. Plus you have to spend, what is it? Like damn near $15,000 to get all your perks because they increase in price for some stupid fucking reason. Like, no, this whole economy, there is not enough if you are not masterfully and like perfect in your ability to kill zombies, you are screwed. This economy sets you up for failure.
I don't agree with that because it's about, like I said, this game is all about pacing yourself. Because the whole point of Cold War Zombies is it returns to the formula of building yourself up. So you start with your shitty loadout weapon, which is why it's so bad. Because even if you start with, you can start with a light machine gun, and this is something we privately talked about on the road to Cold War. Is how are they going to combat me being overpowered in the first 20 rounds if I can start the game with a light machine gun, right? So it's a power
Figured
creep.
it out.
It's a
very
power,
much is.
It's a power creep. So you start from nothing, and you have to keep up with the game because the game kicks the difficulty up to match you, right? So, but the thing is, there's no indicator in game to tell you, hey, we're ramping up the difficulty. Buckle down.
Same with like the health thing. Like
exactly.
The damage that they deal, I can quickly go through that quickly. With no armor, beginning of the game, the zombies deal 30 damage. Starting on round 11, they start dealing 50. Starting from round 31, they deal 75. And starting at round 46, 90.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's without armor.
And there's no in-game thing to tell you, hey, the zombies are... like, a casual person is never going to know that because it's not explicitly stated anywhere in the game. You know, you go through all the menus, you load into your match, you play to round 50, and then you lose your armor, and you realize, like, getting
you gotta take a slap to find that shit out yourself.
Exactly. So you
like, it's learning on the fly in the worst case scenario.
The thing about it is that they have this power creep, and it works. It's just that there's no indicator of when things change and when you need to change with it.
And to people who argue, oh, well, that's way too hand-holdy. Like, now you're asking for them to hold your hand. No, we're not. We're just asking for them to, like, even a character line where, whoa, these zombies look tougher than the other ones.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Now I know. That something as small as that, maybe give our characters who were so important in the campaign a little bit of dialogue, because I'd love to know what's going through Adler's head or Park's head when, a mangler is in their face.
I'm trying to remember who the hell has actually said that explicitly about that idea.
In Rizzo's D-Machiner.
Oh yeah, what's Rizzo?
He talks about how in the prologue in World War II Zombies, Marie would actually comment on when the zombies got stronger.
Yeah.
That's actually hilarious.
I remember that from Rizzo's video. I was literally watching it the other day.
I have a feeling that if this Zombies was entirely developed by Sledgehammer, we'd still have that feature. I bet Treyarch probably just minorly overlooked that and just didn't think about it.
Because
it wasn't in their stuff.
That fans are just going to be ready to just take whatever's thrown at them.
Exactly, yeah. Because it's there, because it's just Treyarch.
Yeah, it's Treyarch.
I mean, Rizzo's, like, by the way, Gabe, you should watch, like, Rizzo's, like, the Die Machine review. It's like, really good.
Oh my god, yeah.
In that review...
Better reviews to watch, like these reviews by Takeout Mars, $25.95.
What I mean, like,
no, but, like,
that's
Rizzo's
review. I will say, Rizzo definitely very much.
What'd you say, Samuel?
No, Krinky said shameless plug, and I said no shameless plug. That's just
honestly,
a plug.
like, it's a good plug, but like, I'm with Mike. You really should give them a watch because Rizzo.
No, I will. I was just plugging.
I would say, like, props to Rizzo because Rizzo really puts the work into everything.
Oh,
He puts quality over, like, quantity.
Yeah, and like one thing I definitely think and correct me if I am wrong in assuming this, Sam. Rizzo's reviews are kind of the inspiration of your format, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. It's very much in the similar, down the same, in the same vein.
Yeah.
Speaking of, nice little formats, can we, like, talk about exfilling on Firebase Z and my a huge disappointment with it?
Absolutely worse than D-Machine.
Let me go first. I want to go first with this. So, I was playing a game at D-Machine today, and I failed an exfil, and I was like, that's the first time I failed an exfil. I remember when the map came out, I was like, you should have multiple exfil areas. So I go on Firebase Z. Like, my first game, I was like, there's a lot of areas around here. And I actually in one area, I was like, oh, cool, maybe there'll be more actual areas. Nope, there wasn't.
Only Scorch Defense.
Like, you could have had it in Rocky Defense and even Jug. Like, that would have made everything interesting.
And the fact that there's no special enemies of any kind to interrupt your exfil in Firebase.
Well, Mike, I think also that you have to realize Scorch Defense is the only area that's open enough to fit Raptor 1.
Yeah.
Because
what about freaking Jug?
Jug's indoors? Hello? It's gonna land on the roof?
The area, like that defense that's over there.
It's all rocky and stuff, and there's trees everywhere. When you think about it, Raptor 1 has to fly in and get you out as soon as possible. That's what the time limit's for. And, from a storyline...
it's in Vietnam.
Thinking about that, hang on. Thinking about that, this would have been a good map for them to institute more of a cutscene-esque sort of thing after you hold X. For example... If the helicopter is hovering over those slope defense areas, what if we get a cutscene where you're running, and as you're running, you fucking have to slow-mo jump into the helicopter? That'd be an interesting exfil.
That'd be cool.
Oh, steal a page out of Modern Warfare's book since Infinity Ward loves their slow-mo cuts. That sounds like a good
idea for one of the later installments for a map, though. Honestly, I want to see having an end of egg exfil in that sort of style, because looking at D Machine in that sense of the fact that the map ends for D Machine where you're exfilling to the helicopter for the egg. Why not give us something like that for say Iron Descent or whatever, or the Berlin map.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of what I'm gonna call the Easter egg, what did you, Sam? I know you were before you were talking about that you were a little bit unhappy about Kravchenko coming back. What did you think of this Kravchenko being?
I was unhappy.
He never said he was unhappy about Kravchenko.
I just remember you were saying something about
it was more about Orda just being kind of Orda
is a letdown.
No, I was talking. Hold on, let me talk for a second.
Yeah,
Sorry. Basically, I remember before the Firebase Z came out, you were saying that there was a rumor that they could have had Kravchenko supposedly be the main bad guy, and you were like, "Oh, maybe want somebody original, somebody we've never seen before."
No, that's not what I said. I said I wanted a villain. I wanted a face, and I got just that.
Yeah.
Kravchenko.
Oh, okay.
I like how it started off with Peck, but then Kravchenko had his reveal. Both Kravchenko and Dr. Valentina had a reveal at the very end of the cutscenes.
Yeah.
And it was oh shit, we actually have a face, a familiar face for one.
Well, now here's the thing: is Treyarch going to keep this going, or are we going to end up with World War II 2, where we kill off, Dr. Strauss? Well, that's my thing. I think it was kind of a bad move them putting Kravchenko in charge of that, and only for the reasoning of if this is canon to the storyline and they're going to keep Black Ops 2 canon, he dies in the desert of Afghanistan. How are we? And in Black Ops 2, zombies are not brought up at all.
Well, we got to keep in mind
something
that
you are.
I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
That is. I mean, that's just my thing. Yes, I get it. The government's going to put a wraps on it or whatever. And yes, probably people who speak about it will be killed. But I mean, you're telling me that good old Jim's not going to be nudging Bob at the water cooler at the offices of the CIA? Hey man, did you hear that about that shit they got in the basement? Oh, you mean the actual zombies? And then what? CIA agent McGee fucking jumps out of the office bush and just fucking shoots him.
Yeah,
that's how it's gonna happen.
Hiding in.
You shouldn't have talked, Jim. Is that just that's how we're supposed to say? Oh yeah, no zombies. It's like the Roswell. It's like the moon landing. It's fake. Yeah, don't worry about it. No.
So I guess now that we talked about Kravchenko and him being the main bad guy for the future of not really the future of the DLC season. This would be a good time to transition into Outbreak. Sam, I'll let you start off.
Okay, so actually revealed today in our Season 2 trailer and roadmap and blog post and all that, we got information about Outbreak, which is the new, or actually I should say latest zombie experience. Because it isn't contained into one... Okay, so storyline aspect. At the end of Firebase Z, Ravenov tells Samantha that there's an operation in the Ural Mountains. And from the intel in Firebase Z, we learn that this is the biggest breach in the dimensional plane that's and it started after they turned on the particle accelerator at the
Project End Station.
At Project End Station. So now Requiem has caught wind, and we got a bunch of teasers over the past week of how Requiem's going to respond to this, and that leads us to the Ural Mountains.
And not fucking Kino.
Yeah, not Kino, but guys, it's a new place.
Clown.
So the basis of Outbreak is we're in the Ural Mountains and we have objectives. There's a bunch of different objectives that we can do. There's escorting a nano drone. There's
what gauntlet should have been?
Yeah, so here we go. Whether it's hunting down.
I'm sorry, I had to say that because it just came to my mind.
Whether it's hunting down elite enemies using a satellite tracker, escorting a rover that detects dimensional portals, or holding out against zombies in a confined dark ether zone a la Onslaught, we have all these different objectives, but it can be played as a traditional zombies experience. You can still it's still going to be round based. So I like that they're moving it to the open world, but still giving us this sense like it's still zombies. You know, you haven't gone far from the old.
Now, my thing with this is, since it's on Outbreak, obviously the elephant in the room we have to talk about, does this mean that the zombies experience is now locked behind PlayStation? Like, PlayStation has this and no one else does?
No. This is coming to all... So, Outbreak is going to be on all consoles come Thursday.
Oh, good. They're not, like, doing it for a year. That's great.
Hey, Gabe, if that was the case, we would have found out by now.
Well, I just started reading. I woke up this morning and you guys were like, "Hey, for the podcast, read up on the season 2 stuff." So I have it open here. But it's just one of those things where
Break is its own.
Oh shit!
Easton, you're breaking up.
Yeah, I had to keep leaving and rejoining just to make sure together. But like I was saying, like there's a difference between Outbreak and Onslaught in this case. Onslaught. Right. PlayStation exclusive mode that's meant to be, this is just a very unique experience of like fighting zombies in contained sections of multiplayer maps. And this was meant to serve as like the prologue to everything that started with the actual zombies mode, starting with D Machine. Outbreak is the continuation off of Firebase, and this is just, we're given this whole like open space. Like think on the scale of like maybe like the size of like a Fireteam Dirty Bomb map.
They're on the Fireteam. So we're going to have 6 maps in zombies come Outbreak. So we'll have D Machina, Firebase Z, Ruka, Alpine, Sanatorium, and the new Fireteam map that I need to go back up to the top really quick to find its name.
That's shown at the top of the like the blog post.
It is called, where is that? Golova.
Golova.
So we're going to have 6 zombies maps. Technically, because even these
Fireteam
maps.
The fact that the Fireteam maps are going to be
for zombies, or do we have to go on the multiplayer menu and then select it?
This is going to have to be selectable through zombies, like similar to like how Onslaught is. Like the way how Onslaught is selected through PlayStation from the gameplay I've watched of Onslaught, it's its own like little like selectable in the zombies menu. So like you'll have like of course like you'll have like all the different like playlists of like, here's D Machine. Here's Firebase C. Here's Dead Ops Arcade 3. Here's Onslaught if you're on PlayStation. And then here's Outbreak as its own separate thing. And of course you have like the private game section and the solo play section underneath that. Because like all those other ones are like the public playlists of like just matchmaking.
Then my next question would be, is this going to be a 4-player? Is Outbreak basically going to be just another 4-player zombies experience map-esque thing with a pack-a-punch and everything?
Like basically, yeah. Like the way how I can kind of think to describe it, now that I'm thinking about it, think Modern Warfare 2019 Spec Ops, but zombified and actually good, because we're talking about Treyarch here.
Easton, I would like to let you know that I'm going to be suing you in court. Samuel will also be there because you are triggering my PTSD for making me think about Spec Ops. So I'm just saying, you'll be hearing from my lawyers. No,
one thing bad. Well, like noting about like the whole pack-a-punch and the perk machines thing. In one of the images that's shown like later on, like before this in the blog post, before the section that talks about the new skill tiers for all of the like perks, weapons, and stuff for zombies, there's an image of like 2 players within what's the snowy map again?
Alpine.
On Alpine, inside a building that has the Wonderfist machine. Also, we've lost screen share, by the way. So,
yeah, that would explain, because I switched. Oh, that's a...
Yeah, since you switched from the recording.
Are we recording right now?
Seconds.
Well, he was showing gameplay.
There we go.
Kringy, out of curiosity, since you play a lot of Fireteam, what do you think about those maps getting zombified?
Seeing them, okay, you're gonna have to help me out here. Which ones are they zombifying, or is it gonna be new ones?
All Fireteam Dirty Bomb maps are gonna be used for Outbreak. I don't like it. Sounds that disappointing.
I don't see it working too. Like, I feel like they're gonna have to be doing a lot of optimization for zombies because, like, I don't know. It's like the maps are way too big.
But you have to remember, there's less people loaded in on these maps now.
You're looking at only 4 actual players and everything else being zombie NPCs, and we're getting our own exclusive vehicles for some of these maps.
Sedan.
We get a sedan.
Speaking of,
honestly, I think I'm just gonna have to see it in person because, like, right now I don't see how they can zombify it. But I mean, maybe they'll pull something creative out of their butt.
I mean, one thing to quickly note: this is happening next Thursday, February 25th. Season 2 is dropping in 1 week.
Dude, that actually.
Speaking of optimization, can we talk about the Panzer Soldat for a second?
Oh, I like our Soviet friend, man. That's pretty cool that the Soviets were like, "Hey, Germans."
Here's the one thing I'm gonna know. He looks the design of that, like, Panzer suit looks very Manticore-like from, like, BO3 Manticore.
He looks bigger. He looks chunkier than the other Panzer, where the other Panzer, he was a mech. The other Panzer was still a mech, obviously, but, like, this one looks built.
Gabe, Kringy, if you're to click into, like, the little, like, live stream that's in the Discord right now, like, in the voice channel, you can see the image on screen. Because, like, he's a chunky boy.
Yeah, he looks bigger, and he looks like he's going to be a serious threat. I mean, that also, cannon on his other arm.
Is that a new Mastercraft I see?
That looks like a weapon. RPG? That looks like a weapon skin. Or like a blueprint.
I do you are also correct. The death machine is a score streak. Yeah. I am sad it is not coming back as a weapon in zombies, but oh well.
If you're to go into the Discord server, you should see that there's like a little thing that says live next to Sam.
We get machete.
And now you'll have you should see like Sam's sharing his screen right now.
Yeah,
we're seeing what he has pulled up on his screen for us to see.
Oh my!
I do want to mention one thing. So everyone and I won't veer off too track, but everyone's always talking about how one of the leaked maps or whatever is supposed to be supposedly Kino and Varuk. I have a feeling that Russian Panzer could be in the Kino map since it's near the Berlin Wall and stuff.
I am worried about that idea.
That's my thing. Okay, so I said this about Firebase, and I'll stick by it too. If they said that, hey, we're going to do Firebase Z, it's going to be a complete new map, and there was rumors that the Dark Aether variant of that map was just going to be us going to Shino Numa in the Dark Aether. Would not have been opposed because at least the other side of the map was an original map. It's not like we're going to spend the entire time in Dark Aether. It's timed. So if they're going to say, hey, we're going to put this new zombies map in the Ural Mountains, but hey, by the way, we're going to reuse a couple assets from Kino or a couple assets from Varuk, you could have picked worse maps to bring back and stitch into your new map. So, I mean, again, I'm cool with them reusing certain things, like how the courtyard in Firebase Z is literally ripped from Da Nang in Campaign. And that's not a bad thing, it's pretty cool.
I mean, I was only kind of bringing that aspect up because, like, you look at the Panzer, like, it would fit with a Berlin Zombies-esque map.
Oh yeah, no, I see what you mean.
I can understand that.
I think, and I want to pick up on something Gabe said. If you notice in the background, there's these purple glows. That's actually the the Dark Aether breach walls. So that's like the hey, you can't pass this zone line.
Because canonically, if I can interject that, canonically, these purple walls, which we also saw them on Firebase Z within the actual Firebase area.
No, they're not on D Machina.
Because D Machina, like, it literally was just starting to happen because of the fact that we were there. But, like, those walls, anything zombified is limited to within those walls because of the Dark Ether, like, spread and corruption.
Where is that explained? Story-wise?
It's in the intel. So
yeah, it's in the intel.
A lot of the Dark Ether story is told via intel.
So, okay, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. I like that there are other reasons to play the map besides just doing the Easter egg or just vibing. You can vibe and find intel. However, I will pull a page out of Ryan's argument for the reason that he doesn't like Halo 5. Which is, if you have too much of your story, like casual zombies players who are somewhat interested in the story aren't going to spend hours and hours sifting through intel trying to find out all the story. Like, I would love it if in the next cutscene we have like maybe a meeting, sort of like the intro cutscene to 5, where we have Weaver, Strauss, Dr. Gray, Major Carver, and all those guys, all the experts sitting down talking about, okay, well, at least we have time to act on this because they're contained to this zone for this reason. Like, just bring it up verbally, just so that way players can hear that, because no one's going to sit through and examine the intel with a magnifying glass for hours at a time.
I still haven't even listened to the intel.
Me neither. I will eventually. I will once I find all of it, but at the same time,
I feel like the intel is kind of gated because, like getting into comic books for games and stuff, you have to have the initiative to go out and do it.
Exactly.
It's like Ryan's biggest argument with it is like you have to take the extra initiative to go out and find all of it, right? And like you said, it's not casual friendly at all. And it's why it's sad that the lore videos have declined since Black Ops 3, because the Dark Ether story has a lot of good stuff to unpack inside of it. Mm-hmm. It's just that the YouTubers they don't care about the game mode anymore. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna come back and make a couple videos on this and go back to what I was doing earlier.
Well, the passion's left the community as a whole. I mean, Black Ops, and honestly, Black Ops 3 putting the ending on that was kind of the start of the beginning of the end, because zombies YouTubers cried about the end of Aether and then shat on Chaos Story until Blood of the Dead was announced. Then they started caring about Black Ops 4. It's honestly, I can equate it to the same reason that people shat on the Chaos Story as to why people pay less attention to this game. The Aether characters aren't here. We don't have Rick Toffin. We don't have Dempsey, Nikolai, Takio, and quite frankly, the YouTubers don't give a shit. It's something they're like, oh, well, there goes my, my cutscene, or there goes my thumbnail. It's going to get me views.
Like revenue.
Yeah, there goes my revenue. And, I get it. You're in YouTube to make it a career, but in the words of, I actually saw a great Twitter thread on this that I can tie in. I watch a lot of, when Among Us became popular, I started watching a lot of Wildcat and Nogla. And a YouTuber that I watch called Blarg, he posted on Twitter, he's like, I don't understand, I don't get that argument of, I've run out of things to play, and he's all, you literally just post a 10-minute video and make money. And Wildcat responded, he's like, this is a new guy take, because after 9 years of doing YouTube, I don't do it for the money anymore. I do it to make sure that my viewers have entertaining content that I invest into. If I can't invest my time into something, I'm not going to do it, because if I'm not going to invest, why would the viewers invest? And that's where I think the YouTubers are coming from, where fans don't really, like the old school fans don't give a shit about this new zombies, because there's no Aether characters. There's no cool iconic, line from Dempsey about headbutting zombies and biting them back and shit like that. And like, there's no macho-ness to it. It's just quiet characters who are soldiers. It's too real. Yeah, it's too real. Is more of the thing, and it just doesn't get headliners anymore. Why do you think all the YouTubers put the fucking ray gun in their fucking clips and the Ray K in their clips as soon as they saw it? They're like, oh, thumbnail with new weapon. There you go.
Yeah,
I started to pick up on the
thing over in the corner.
I started to pick up on like their 10-minute video long or whatever, on like every single zombie YouTuber's new video being 10 minutes and like 2 seconds long, and I was just like, unsubscribe. Not dealing with that shit.
Part of that is because of the algorithm. That's the thing. Like, if they want their videos to be served, they have to follow the algorithm, because the algorithm's always changing. It's not their fault that they're trying to make this a career, and they have to either follow the algorithm or just end up just being faded out of existence
Yeah,
because
pretty
they're
much
not
committing
posting
channel suicide because
Well, and that's
Exactly.
exactly it too. Why do you think half these guys just stream on Twitch and post the highlights on YouTube? They get
Yeah.
11 minutes and they just go, "Cool, I have like 50 videos now I can crank out." Cool.
Plagiarism.
See, that person's chair agrees.
Bruh.
Anyway, so going on to that, if we could jump really quick, I am absolutely dying, if it's all right with you guys, to talk about A, the operators, and B, the new weapons they're adding.
Alright.
Because
Okay,
upon
yeah,
reading
that's a
this
fair
stuff,
point.
I'm excited, and I'm going to take it away, starting off with, I'm not going to do operators, I'm going to let one of you guys have the
I
operators.
kind of want to take a look at the general like image.
I'm going to
right
start
now,
with
since-
guns. First thing first, I'm going to start with a personal gripe of mine, which is a gripe, but not a gripe. I don't see the reason for the Galil coming back. Don't get me wrong. I love the Galil. It's always been one of my favorite guns. It's an iconic gun to Black Ops. But guess what? The Krieg exists, and it damn near looks just like it. They're literally going to put that gun in there, and it's going to be a carbon copy. I'm excited for it. Don't get me wrong, but whatever. I'm excited for this new SMG, the LC-10, but the last SMG we got, which had 10 in the name, was super overpowered, so I can't wait for this SMG to break multiplayer.
This thing looks very much like a Caparis. I'm going to say that right now.
it does
very
look
much
like
has
that.
a
It does look like
Caparis.
that
vibe.
Caparis.
Yes.
Which
And
we haven't seen that baby since BO1.
The OG.
Hey, I missed it, boy. I'm really excited for two things. One, the machete. I love melee weapons in this
yes.
game. Don't get me wrong.
Machete.
I'm glad that this game is taking the Black Ops 3 and 4 approach to it and adding a shit ton of melee weapons. I love that. Melee weapons are fun. And I'd like to see how this new sniper rifle goes through. I'm hoping that it's bolt action, or
I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm gonna say right now, based off of the general, like looking at the image of it in like the little like promotional of like, you know, like the quote unquote timeline for the season, it kind of reminds me of the Havelina from BO4.
there you go. I was gonna say it
And then
reminded me of
looking
one of
at
those
it-
damn things.
Yeah, and then looking at it in
Here it is.
the hands of like that
Oh,
like,
God.
variant of Adler, it kind of reminds me of the Koshko.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Don't get me wrong. I like the
sniper in that image.
It does. I like it a lot, and I think it's going to look really good. I think I'm going to enjoy it a lot because, again, I actually like casually sniping and zombies in this game. I hate snipers in multiplayer. I wish they'd just take them and throw them out. But that's just me because I'm tired of getting quick scoped from around the corners.
I can say quickly, it is the
It is.
ZRG 20mm is a bolt action. It does state that in its little descriptor.
Yeah, I have
on
it pulled
the
up
post.
right now.
A single shot to the head, chest, or shoulders. Oh, Link's vibes, bruh. Link's
That's
vibes.
a decent
In
like,
exchange
one-shot.
for a slower fire rate. Okay, I know you said slower fire rate. However, if that could mean rechambering time too, that would be great.
You know,
It's
I'm looking
got
at
the
this.
one of the fastest reload speeds.
I'm looking at this as well. I'm getting serious Paladin vibes from the way the barrel comes out and the way the bipod is
yeah.
built underneath
Like
it.
I'm seeing a mix of like this is a mix of like 4 different BO4,
Yeah,
like
I'm
3 different
seeing-
BO4 weapons.
I've seen
that
a
are
bunch
all
of
snipers.
BO3
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Y'all
Yeah,
remember
I
in
see
in Deadpool 2 when Cable assembles his future gun out of like a shit ton of other new guns and shit?
Uh-huh.
It looks like somebody just went to the gunsmith and was like, "Let's see what I can build here today."
Okay,
Oh,
I kind
God.
of want to make note of something real quick that I honestly think is going to be fucking cool. The R1 Shadow Hunter crossbow.
Yeah, this is
Like,
gonna be
come
cool.
on, that thing looks cool.
I'm really excited. I really hope it has explosive bolts to it, or
Oh
like
yeah, like
sticky
if it has
bolts.
explosive bolts, as an
Did-
attachment, great.
Did the Black Ops 4 one have explosive
No,
bolts?
No.
actually, yes, if you played Sticks and Stones, but that was the only version of it that had
Sticks and
explosive
Stones.
bolts.
Oh, speaking of Sticks and Stones, Gun Game is coming back.
Oh yeah, gun game coming back. I saw that
Nice.
stockpile from
Black Ops 4.
Stockpiles. Yeah, Black Ops 4.
I don't remember
What's-
stockpile.
It's
did you
it's
play?
basically kill confirmed, but there's banks that you have to bring the
Did you
tax
play
to. Like it was
Fracture?
brought up back in Modern
Oh,
Warfare 19.
fractured.
Fracture and Black Ops 3 is the same concept. So you kill people
Yeah.
and you
Oh.
pick up their thing, like their dog.
It was-
In this game, it's gonna be dog tags. You pick up their
Oh.
tag and you.
They
hold
brought it
onto
back for Modern Warfare
Head
19 as well. and it was just chaos.
Headhunter
on-
from Halo Reach. Got
Yes,
it.
yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Okay, we did mention it a little bit
I do,
earlier. The Death Machine coming back. That's freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
As a score streak, though, I am curious about its salvage price. I'm predicting 150 to be in line with the War Machine in zombies.
Yeah, it shouldn't be any more than that. Realistically, it's not. I want to know how many shots they're going to give it. I wonder if they're going to give us like 200-300, or are they going to give us like 999? Like, give me Mad Vorkuta vibes here.
Probably.
I'm gonna stick with Gabe. I'm gonna say 999 just because like the death machine, like remember when it first got added to Black Ops 3, they did
like the ammo counter was actually visible for it, and it was always 999. And if you held down the trigger and had double tap, like from the get go and never let go, you would go through all 999 bullets with.
Yeah.
And I'm also hoping I'm glad that it's not a power up anymore, because don't get me wrong, I'm all for the power up death machine. That's really cool and all, but that was really boring.
There is one thing
it was inconvenient on a few occasions.
One thing I want to
quickly
note, and I think that this is going to be kind of funny. Like just looking at the multiplayer maps at it, we got it for gunfight. The location where Sam showed us that Bella's built different in his Cold War campaign review.
Oh God!
Hey, you know what that mansion gunfight map kind of looks like though? It kind of looks like the courtyard to Verrucht. A little bit.
Remind me of that a bit, yeah.
Well,
holy shit!
I think
Good on, Gabe. You get a cookie.
Then again, this is literally the mansion in Cuba during that point in no return campaign mission.
Yeah, no, I know that's exactly where it does. It just the awning in the middle, where I just realized, because I haven't watched Samuel's review on the campaign yet. I just realized what you're talking about when Bella's built different. You survived a landmine. You survived a landmine, didn't you?
Yeah, I ran over all.
Not landmines on the easiest difficulty.
Easiest difficulty, but also I had extra. Not just one landmine, all of them. I set them all off and ran past them.
Okay.
Russians.
I also
when Perseus, when he sees Woods, Mason, Adler coming in. Oh, they're easy. Perseus, when he sees Bell walking in through all the landmines. Oh my god!
Shit.
Okay.
So let's jump over to operators really quick.
Take it away.
So
Samantha Maxis is going to be the main.
We'll start with Naga, our main character, who we're focusing on this season.
Villain for the sake of this section of the story, the only Warsaw Pact operator, sadly.
Yeah. I feel like the Warsaw Pact is getting cheated out of operators, but it's okay.
This is like
you know what though? They did the same. Yeah, they did the same thing in Modern Warfare 19. They added everybody for 141 and the SAS and all that to try and form that, and then that was pretty much.
And then everyone else kind of got.
I still have my beef. So for Warzone, I know we got to play as whatever villains and blah blah blah. We can play intermingled in a team, of course. Yeah. And I could play as Stitch, you could play as Adler, whatever. But to the story, if you're going to make Warzone story-centric, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, hi, I'm Adler. Hi, I'm Stitch. We hate each other, but we're going to go jump into Resurgence together. Let's do this. And it's like, huh? No.
Yeah, boy.
Insert Step Brothers, did we just become best friends meme?
True.
Oh, wow.
I think looking at this skin, this is definitely going to be the tier 100, the final
that
skin
looks
you
very
get.
much tier 100.
Wait, hold, Gabe, I want to add on to your joke. If you touch Helen Park, I will stab you with a knife.
Oh, please. Nobody's going to care about Park anytime soon.
Because we have...
If you want to scroll on down,
Maxis.
our girl!
Woo!
For the first time since 2011, we can play as Samantha Maxis.
Oh, did you see Julie Nathan's tweet?
Yeah.
How it's been, how it started, how it's going.
Well, she's going to be the only operator besides Russell Adler I'll be playing for a while until they add an Alex Mason.
I still see our boy Sam over here running Port Nova.
Oh no, I'm playing I'm playing as Samantha. No.
Okay.
Don't get it. I'm playing as Samantha.
You're not going to be Simp Nova anymore?
No.
Simp Nova. Hey man, you can't say that. It's 2021. That's a bad word.
Hey,
I'm
playing
as Maxis now. Get over it.
Okay, whenever we do get Maxis, we need to go back and play Firebase Z as all Maxis.
Oh god, that's gonna be bad. I do have one thing to say though. Do you wonder if there's gonna be more skins to unlock as Samantha? You'll have her in your D Machine cutscene skins where she's wearing the trench coat and shit.
Maybe, but I feel like since she's going to be in multiplayer, I feel like she's going to always have the tactical gear on that she has in this screenshot.
If you're to scroll down a little bit, it does mention that I think it does Okay. Nope, it didn't mention it. I thought it would mention like the fact that like like she's going to be an in-season operator. Like that means like either there's going to be a challenge to unlock her, most likely a zombies challenge relating to the outbreak mode.
So they'll definitely make it zombies challenge. And if they make a multiplayer challenge, it's gonna be stupid.
They're not going to miss the opportunity to give us microtransactions.
Of course not.
That's the thing. In season always means it's a bundle. So
Yeah.
So and
There's
then
always going to be a bundle.
launch week obviously means that he's our battle pass skin. So he's our tier 1 and then tier 100 character.
Okay.
Yeah, my thing with Maxis is if she's gonna have multiple skins, I know that she goes into the Dark Ether and at the end of Firebase Z came out and it looks like she team wiped the premise crew and looted their corpses. But she's got what was it? Nikolai's hat and goggles, Takeo's katana,
She's got the
Dempsey's
goggles now in this image.
Dempsey's pocket watch, I believe, and then Rick
She's got
Toppin's.
the Setsubo gas mask right there.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I would love to see her get skins where maybe she pays a little bit of homage to the other characters, because in a sense, they were kind of like her father-esque figures / family, I would say.
We got one of her in the lab coat to pay homage to our boy Ludwig, who got for eating the last nuggies by Monty.
I want to see an OG Samantha look. Like I want her in like her dress with like the jacket.
In some way, like that's. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of sounds weird.
I mean,
that sounds weird.
If Mara can dress as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, Samantha can dress as little girl Samantha.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm going to defend him on that because as a person who like 100% stands for Mara, because he's totally allowed to have whatever like ideas he wants for. Like, I would love to see nostalgic like Samantha come back, and
I like the idea of nostalgic.
I would like to see
little girl stuff. Just kind of seems weird to me.
Yeah, I know where Ethan's coming from. That actually is understandable.
No, I get why it's understandable, especially what's going on in the zombies community lately. But at the same time, it's whatever. I want to see some nostalgic cool shit. I would like to see what we're gonna do with Takeo's katana, since she went and looted that from the Dark Aether.
Actually,
is that just gonna go on her wall?
It's probably like she probably just left it with the CIA, and they probably
were like, probably at the Requiem base.
They were like, "Oh, cool katana," and then they probably threw it out. But I want to point our attention to...
No. The CIA is like Adler's ex-wife. They don't throw anything away.
No, that's
anyway,
true.
Go ahead.
I want to point your attention to this weapon variant she adds. This is our first image of our new reactive blueprints we're going to be getting this season.
That's of the new AR.
This is probably going to be... This will probably be the tier like 90-something weapon variant we get. So, because like
they got to start off somewhere with the
reactive. I'm so excited for reactive camos to finally come back, man.
The fact that they're going to only be like weapon variants, like blueprints, I feel like it's going to be the problem.
Well, if Treyarch just gives us the ability to change our attachments to be like, so we can use the variant version of said attachment, like in
so I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree for one reason. If you own a CDL pack like I do, there is another tab in the camos. There's multiplayer, zombies, and store. So store camos are a thing. So hypothetically speaking, the reactive camos could totally come back. I think
that's understandable.
I would not expect them to be of the same caliber we got in Black Ops 4 because Black Ops 4 is super. The Black Ops 3 and 4 they hit home runs when it came to camos. Their mastery camos, and all their mastery camos were great. It was not fun when you forgot to take your reactive camos off when you were trying to hide in a corner in Alcatraz, because everybody's going to realize the guy sitting there with the dogfight skin on. But at the same time, I'm excited for these things to come back, but I don't expect them to be nearly as flashy. Because I think the mistake they made in Black Ops 4, which really deterred me from trying to grind out dark matter, is they made the reactive camos better than dark matter. They made them better than their mastery skins. And looking at the mastery
to where they have active weapons.
Yeah, looking at the mastery skins in this game, gold looks cool. Gold Viper, Plague Diamond, Dark Aether, still a home run. So you have your standard for camos. If your camos are in between the Plague Diamond and Dark Aether area, that still keeps me wanting to get Dark Aether, and it keeps me with having good camos for now. I've said it from day one. I don't like Plague Diamond. I hate that it's just purple. Not that I have a vibe against the purple color, but I mean, really, guys, we missed our red hex bring back by a mile, and yep, I'm still pissed about that because that's my camo.
I have an idea that I just thought
Emerald
about.
UG was my go-to.
Reactives, like if they're to like update masteries to have reactives in some sense, and this is like mainly a thought for like zombies with dark ether that I just now had. So like one thing that we will bring up once we get to the zombie stuff in the season 2 post, like the fact that we're going to be getting those other like we're getting the tier 4 and 5 upgrades for all the skills in zombies, and we're going to be getting refined Aetherium, which is a purple. Is it like a?
I
said
think
it was a purple.
it's a purple. So the 2 new crystals are
All
just like
Aetherium has been purple. That's the thing that's kind of throwing me off.
I think the raw Ethereum is more like a bluish color. So this new Ethereum is like a deep purple.
And then
And
you
then
got
we have the orange.
which is a pinkish color, or like orangish pink. So like what I was thinking is like imagine this, like if you choose to start with dark ether on a gun, and like this is a core. Now I think of it, if only they would open it up to where you could put the camos on all the weapons. Like the thought process is like you'd have that base form of like the bluish looking dark ether on the gun. Level 1 pack makes it glow a little bit more. Level 2 changes it to the refined color. Level 3 changes it to the flawless Aetherium color.
That could
Something
be
like
neat.
that. Because like we have the 3 pack levels, that could be an idea for the sake of that mastery camo for zombies.
Ah, shit.
What's wrong?
I just realized something.
What?
What is
They say the R1 Shadowhunter and the ZRG are going to be in season.
They're
gonna be
fun.
challenges, right?
We're gonna have to unlock them, and they're gonna fucking suck.
Like having to unlock like the challenges will suck. I do think this.
Oh, snipers is gonna be annoying as hell to do. I already know it.
Wait, I'm confused. Wait, like I thought it would make it so that they added in a new DLC weapon and they'd keep it in the game like forever.
They will. Yeah,
So,
but you have to unlock it.
They
still.
will. You have to
do the
unlock it, and you have to
challenge.
unlock it during the season. So,
later
for
in the season, it's just that you'll have challenges that you have to get them through.
For example, if you wanted to unlock the Wakazashi and be able to level it up and unlock camos for it, you had to use the knife, and you had to go get. I think it was
finishers in 10 different matches.
Yeah, two like double, like 2 3-kill streaks or some shit. Like what was it for?
Wakazashi, it was get
Two
get
finishing
two
moves.
finishers within a get 2 finishing move kills in a single match 10 times. For the sledgehammer, it was get a double kill with the melee weapon.
You guys are making it
15
seem
different
like it was
matches.
going to be a limited time like weapon that you can unlock or
Oh
something.
no! Like the only things that would be limited is the in battle pass weapons, which in this case would be like the AR and the SMG.
Well,
that and also-
we'll see challenges for those open up once
Yeah,
this season goes away. We'll see what
Season
they're
one,
gonna.
once that goes, yeah, we'll see. Like, of course, the Groza and the Mac 10 be added as challenges in some way.
Yeah, I won't care. I'm probably not going to care too much about the E tool. I'm definitely going to do the machete.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be getting the machete.
Okay, so it's looking like the machete is going to have a challenge just right off the bat, right?
Okay, Danny Trejo.
Yeah, so I was gonna mention that if you notice on the image, the ones
It
that are
doesn't show the in-season thing.
it
but
doesn't
then when
say
you look at
in
the
season
overall,
like the other
in-season.
3 do.
Yes, it does. It's a special in-season machete.
But like once that's scrolling down and reading the entire paragraph, like machete special in season. But if you look at the image that's at the very beginning of like the quote unquote like calendar of like the stuff that's being added to like Warzone, multiplayer, zombies, stuff like that, underneath the new weapons, it just says machete. It doesn't have like the little in season box above it. Like the
That could be a glitch or a typo.
I mean,
Maybe. Who knows?
yeah, who knows? Maybe like with like the Maxis. And I think this is Maxis doesn't have that. What if Maxis is just going to have a challenge right from the get go once season 2 starts? Because I think that would make sense.
Well, she's gonna be. It says at the bottom of their stuff. It says gain access to Samantha Maxis, Terrell Wolf, and Carla Rivas for Black Ops Cold War and Warzone as part of separate store bundles in season 2.
Yeah, well,
So they're gonna have challenges for camos, but
the thing
for
about Maxis
skins.
is that they already found her. They already found her bundle in the game files. Like she's been in since Firebase launched. So we know she's going to be a purchasable operator. It's just a matter of when.
Treyarch really needs to get like maybe a little more cybersecurity on their side. They should be getting data mined for years.
So
He's been getting data mined since like Black Ops 4.
let's jump over to the new additions for zombies. So
Oh, this is gonna be good.
we'll start with the 2 new Ethereum crystals, Refined and Flawless. And from what it sounds like, these are only going to be earnable in Outbreak.
Can we all just take a moment, bow our heads, and say thank you for not having them be pay to win?
Yeah. So like,
That is nice.
if you look underneath the 2 new skill tier section, Sam, the second paragraph immediately starts with prepare to chase those high rounds in traditional round-based zombies or complete multiple outbreak investigations in a single run to get a chance at earning these new crystals.
And
So we can play normal zombies, but I think we'd have to like hit like 30 plus, something like that.
Probably.
I'm happy with that because I like, and for those of you, whoever I play zombies with, if we could possibly start going like, you know, into the 40s, so we can actually like, you know what it feels
would be
like
nice.
to have
Keep
orange
going down,
weapons
then
and
we might
level
be
3
able to
packs.
do it.
Oh yeah, because
That-
like
Gabe, I would be down for that, like in a heartbeat. That's fucking.
Because like
good.
I'm not as efficient as my friends when it comes to getting kills and upgrading my gun in like an efficient manner. And then I get my shit like upgraded around round 30, and then it's like, okay, 31 more X filling, and I'm like, bruh.
yeah, it'd be like that. And I personally apologize for that because I know I'm one of those people that's just like, okay, I'm just
I
gonna
mean, Ethan, you're justified at least. It's like, you know, if you're like leveling up a gun, you're like, okay, it's time to exfil because you don't want your game to be
Yeah, 'cause-
overdrawn out.
and like XP gains are just horrible in the high rounds.
Uh-huh.
Not even that, dude. The fact that if you play by yourself, your XP's cut in half, like why?
Oh, yeah. Like,
that
that's
is
part of
so
why, like-
stupid.
Yeah, like XP gains are varying depending on what level you are. Like I recommend looking up Smart Guy's video about XP gains.
Does that affect weapon XP too?
Yes. 100%.
That's
Weapon XP, the best weapon XP that you can earn is within the first 10 goddamn rounds.
That's so
Which is
dumb. No, I
enough
mean
to
like
get
if
you
I
Oh,
one
wow.
XP level from 30 plus.
well, that's
one
exactly it. Like
level.
you
That's
you
a
know,
shame.
if you played around 30, because what was it? If you played around 30, you can get your gun from level 1 to with double weapon XP, I believe it is. You can get your gun from level 1 to 30. After that, the grind is just absolutely slow. Because I know I played with the Street Sweeper for 1 game and got it up to level 29, and that was easy. Like it was just easy work, and that was with the Ray K as my secondary. Because you know I'm not gonna fucking miss out on that.
One thing at least is like with the secondary weapons, like they only have 35 levels. Meanwhile, all primaries have 55. So it's even more of a grueling task.
Imagine if they had kept all the attachments from Modern Warfare and they had 75 levels. I'd be throwing hands with somebody.
Oh, good. No, we don't speak of that.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
anyways. Yeah, like these
There's
new...
like,
You go ahead,
like,
Mike.
was this new within tier 5 jug at one point?
Yes, we will be looking at tier 4 and 5 being added in with season 2's launch.
Because,
So there's going to be grinding to level up all the skills even
Yeah,
further.
because it says.
Oh my
"Will
God.
further
And
improve
on top
your
of that-
weapon classes, field upgrades, perks, and ammo mods, which is a
Oh,
good.
God.
Which is a good
Yeah, we have
opener.
a new field upgrades and ammo mod being added at the launch of season 2.
Yeah, so
The
let's
field
start with
upgrade.
the field upgrade.
Frenzied Guard. This basically is like the Now You See Me Gobblegum from Black Ops 3, where like whenever you activate it, all zombies will start focusing on you. And one thing that's cool about it is like if you're using it and you're the one to activate it and the zombies start hitting you, you only take damage to your armor.
What if you
Like
don't
you
have
start
armor?
taking damage only to your armor and then your health for the duration. And some of the upgrades that come with is like you can increase upon activation, your armor is fully repaired. And
Okay,
the duration is like increased to like 15 seconds. And then on top of that, once you activate it, it's kind of got a built-in undead man walking effect. To where any like non-special enemies, like just normal zombies and heavy zombies, I believe is how they're looking at this. They're just going to their normal walking speed.
My question is, if I activate it and all 3 of you don't have armor, does it only repair my armor, or is it like a carpenter and it repairs everybody?
I think it's just yours.
I think it's for just
Based
you.
on
Like
the
think of it as like
wording. I would
you know
love
how,
it.
like with World War II, like if you put on certain like perks for like say for
Frontline.
which one am I thinking of? like Frontline or like Shell Shock, how like if you activate your ability, mainly Frontline actually, yeah, where if you activate it and you have that one particular like perk in your loadout, it gives you two pieces of armor.
Yeah, that's Frontline.
Yeah,
But
it's basically like that.
I am definitely going to be using Frenzied Guard because I love this idea of giving everyone time and then slowing the enemies down while they're kind of shambling.
Like this, I feel like this one is going to be amazing for Outbreak.
Yeah, and
100%.
then
Like,
we have.
don't get me wrong, Healing Burst is nice and all, but like Healing Aura, but like Frenzied Guard, I feel like will be more useful because you could just save your armor immediately and be able to just draw attention away for a moment.
So now we have our new ammo mod, Shatter Blast.
Oh boy. You'll know about the perk Vigor Rush from Customs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do not.
Basically, your bullets are explosive.
Nice.
So think like the Hitchcock or the
Yeah, Pack-Punch, Hitchcock,
Paladin.
Ribby rolls.
Or Paladin.
Yeah. So basically, just every bullet that comes out of your gun is going to be, it's going to deal explosive damage. And sure, it's built more specifically for armored enemies, which
like,
is
for example,
probably
our Panzer
talking about
here.
Mr. Panzer. But I think that this ammo mod will be really good against zombies.
I think this ammo mod's going to be
bullet.
really good
Like,
against manglers.
Manglers, heavy zombies, and
God.
a Panzer.
So, in other words, hey, Napalm Burst, it was nice seeing you for like a couple weeks.
Exactly.
See you later.
Yeah.
Anytime they introduce a new enemy type, whichever one's the more pain, that's the ammo mod that ends up becoming meta for that map.
Uh-huh,
No,
exactly.
everyone always tells me that Deadwire is like the main meta, but like it was Deadwire on BO3. In Black Ops 4, it was pretty much like Cryo Freeze because of how like how much it how frequent it always trigger. And in this game, I'd probably say for me, it's probably just like brain rot because it actually does a good job at killing.
It just depends on people. The metas for this game are going to alternate via the new heavy zombies. So, for example, Deadwire basically like Megaton rolls up and says, "Yo, what's good?" And then you pull out Deadwire, and he's like, "On Grove Street, I'm out. See you later." He boogies on out.
It's Firebase. You could use brain rot for the mimic, but mimics are pretty much pushovers if you have the Ray K.
Yeah, exactly. So.
If you have the Ray K, homie, have you seen what a Pack-a-Punch 3 orange Wakazashi does to a mimic? I make sushi, homie. That shit's nice.
Yeah, like melee weapons upgraded is just straight up one hit mimics. Meanwhile, the Mangler over here, you just take a chink out of the armor, then you kill it. Manglers are a pain in the ass on Firebase C.
Yeah, they are definitely more powerful than they were, and they're definitely more powerful than they were in Black Ops 3. I remember those guys being pushovers in Black Ops 3.
Them. That's the thing.
And also, I mean, at least we have the option to shoot off their cannon and just do some mega damage to them.
Yeah.
We have that
I
option?
wanted to say, there's one thing
You've always had the option.
It's only after they if they are prepping a shot or they've already fired off a shot. If you shoot at their arm cannon, you can blow up their arm cannon, dealing a lot of damage to themselves, and as well as getting rid of their only ranged ability.
Nice.
I have a very big concern involving the tier 4 and 5 upgrades. This makes me more concerned of what perks will be returning because there was a rumor, and just because the rumor was, take it with a pint of salt, that tier 5 Jug would just be Dying Wish and Jug altogether.
That's not a bad idea.
No, but just what other, that makes me wonder what other perks will come back, because one of the rumored perks is PhD Flopper, and if they merge PhD with Jug, what the hell,
Now that you bring that up, Mike, also thinking about this, because of the fact that we're getting tier 4 and 5 at the start of season 2, what's going to happen to whatever new perk is introduced on the next actual zombies map?
Yeah.
Is it going to be
ultra
watered down to where tier 5 is?
Exactly. That's a very good point. I was worried about that because I feel like tier 5 is cool because
for that. For it costs you money right now, but tier 5 makes it to where it's free to grab your tombstone.
I feel like they're gonna do it's gonna be a checkpoint system. So tier 3 will be the original perk if they keep up the trend of bringing old perks back.
And then 4 and 5 will just take it to the next level.
Yeah, we'll upgrade that what we used to have. I feel like that.
I hate to say it, but if they're gonna do it, That could really be something that benefits Mule Kick if they bring back Mule Kick. I don't see the point in it, but at the same time,
like just thinking about it in that general sense, and also
Yeah.
taking things with a grain of salt. Still, that is a possibility. But like just thinking of it in a general sense right now, like jumping back to Shatterblast, like Shatterblast is going to, of course, be like added to the pack punch machine, and will be one of the random effects that can happen with Elemental Pop.
Mm-hmm.
you know what though? There's going to be one problem with Shatterblast. Watch it do splash damage, and it could probably hurt you. It'll be like the ray gun.
No, I doubt it because it's an AAT. It doesn't. It's not. One, it won't kill you enough because it's not going to proc enough. And also, what are you doing that?
I thought it was every single bullet.
Well, it could be. We don't know. It
Don't know
doesn't
yet.
say.
Oh.
I do with some of the like other perks coming in because if they're bringing back Mule Kick and Double Tap, hell, even PhD, like how the hell are they gonna make those perks worth having with the tiers if you make all the other perks OP? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Have all the OP-ness together. Like,
No, what
carry
I'm
it
trying
in
to say
one
is that like
arsenal.
currently right now, Tombstone and to us degree, Elemental Pop are pretty much useless.
I mean,
but-
even if I can see, like, obviously I call Elemental Pop useless, but I still end up buying it just to complete the set. So when you're gonna have 5 or
5 tiers.
yeah, you're gonna have 5 tier upgrades for every perk in the game. Why not
Who
carry
knows
them
how
all?
far these
Our,
perks
Yeah,
can
our
exactly.
thoughts on Tombstone are going to change when we get Tombstone tier
Hopefully.
5 because
I hope so. I hope that they look at it and they go, "Hey, if you die, like I would love for tier 5 to be, hey, you can use your Tombstone Shadow and you can revive yourself and you get all your shit back."
One thing that we need to keep in mind as well, we're talking about the perks right now, but keep in mind this is happening to the weapons,
Uh-huh.
the field upgrades, the ammo,
no.
mods, everything is getting it up to tier 5 now.
What are you going
that's-
to put for tier 5 Ring of Poggers?
20
You
seconds.
don't lose any ammo. I'm calling it right now.
Like,
You're not
yo,
gonna lose
that would
any
be
ammo.
No, it'll be time gated. It'll say for the first 10 seconds you don't lose ammo, and then all of a sudden you'll start counting down.
Maybe that actually made sense.
It was like 3 or 5 seconds. Like,
Ooh.
Well,
Or this.
Gabe.
Every critical hit you get a bullet back.
I was gonna say something like that. Like
Oh my
it's
God.
some way to
Like
refund
straight
ammo.
from- straight-
kinds of arm situation from Destiny.
Well, and also Jacob's weapons from Borderlands
yeah.
3 do the same thing.
Dude, this is like where
before
this is going to be so broken in the
Before we switch
post
gears,
DLC.
because I don't want to go on for too much longer, but I just want to point our attention to this line right here. These meta-changing upgrades are powerful enough to deserve their own explanation around the launch of Season 2. So they already know what they're doing is going to change how we play Cold War. So I'm really expecting there to be a significant boost in quality of everything across the board.
You know what? I said this a while. I think I was talking to like a friend of mine or whatever, and I was telling him, like, dude, like Die Machine, we play it now, like it's gonna be like so bare bones, but we're gonna play it after all they add all the maps in. Well, tier 5, we're gonna have tier 5 everything on Die Machine. It's gonna make that map into like one of the most broken nightmares in a good way. Like think about it. We have the Die Machine.
That's going to be
Gunner,
that's going
tier
to
5
be
Jug, Ring of Fire. Holy
that's
shit.
going to be even more true because as we get more broken going forward in these new maps, the enemies are going to start keeping pace.
Yeah.
So at some point, we may see them say, "Hey, by the way, tier 5 Jug gives you more health and Dying Wish. Oh, by the way, your payment for us giving you that cool shit is now instead of the zombies capping at whatever the damage capping at whatever round they cap at, we're gonna bump that up 10 rounds." Like,
Also,
shit.
of cost. What if prices start to hike up a bit?
I don't.
It's an inevitability, but I don't see it happening
it
just
happening.
because
They won't do that. They're going to do that for more perks getting added in, but
2,500
they-
for the first one, plus 500 for every perk after for purchase. And considering how we're looking at 10 perks in the game by the time we get to the end of the game's cycle.
yeah. So it's gonna be
I
damn
was just
near.
saying,
It's gonna equate. It's gonna equate to almost having. You're gonna have 30,000 points just for getting your perks. Like this game is so. Like I get it. We're gonna get things that are OP and stuff, but that is so expensive. I would just it known. Can we have like a tier 5 upgrade for melee weapons to where they get bonus salvage? Based on like multi kills or chain kills.
We don't know what's gonna happen. We just have to wait till next
week. We have this weapon classes.
Shotguns get all attachments on it. Oh,
that's
boy.
What I am wanting to happen.
I want secondary. Oh, and not mentioned here, but the special category and the launchers category are also getting all 5 tiers on Thursday. So,
why do you think I haven't started my dark Aether grind yet? I know they're gonna make this game easier, dude. Holy shit!
I mean, they've already made it easier with like the inclusion of like
well, you gotta remember it's Gabe as well.
On Firebase.
What'd you say, Cranky?
Said you also gotta remember it's Gabe you're talking about.
Look, man, if you're gonna say 5 words and it's just gonna come out my throat like that, bro,
hey,
I'm not
man,
cool with that.
I don't talk a lot, but when I do, it's like a sniper.
Tier 5, Gabe.
Okay, so for our last talking point, we're gonna switch over to the casting of the Borderlands movie.
Oh God!
Oh, Easton, do you want to rock paper? You want to rock paper scissors?
As Roland?
Yeah, he's already going in. Oh my god, dude.
Curtis's Tannis, I can kind of see
going right for the throat. I see.
So here's my biggest beef with this. You have Cate Blanchett, which, you know, cake her in makeup or whatever. Not saying she's not already, you know, attractive or could play a character like that, but she's older, so you're going to have to try and make her younger. These characters that they hired these guys to play are in their 20s to 30s. Tannis is not in her 60s. Lilith is not in her 50s. Roland is not 10 years younger than Lilith, and also 3 feet shorter. So, you know... And then, of course, I mean, I think the only pick they kind of got right was Jack Black as Claptrap. At least they got somebody funny.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not Jack Black. It's Jeff. It's Jeff Portnoy from Tropic Thunder.
Well, that's my thing. It's like you like when they originally announced that Lionsgate and Eli Roth were doing this, I was reading comment sections and I was kind of trying to gather intel and do research on what the Eli Roth's background was, and people were like, well, he's made some indie films and he was kind of untrusted. And I thought to myself, you know, I'm getting some Rian Johnson vibes from this, because when they handed Rian Johnson the reins to Last Jedi, he had directed a couple episodes of Breaking Bad, he made an anime film, and he hadn't made anything else. He would like Last Jedi was literally like his 4th film project that he was director in charge of. And it was a disaster. So, you know, it's one of those things where Eli Roth, being this guy who's very relatively unknown to the film community, like he is known, but he's unknown because he's not got his name on a bunch of shit. I'm just kind of like, yo, this is not going to be, like, you can't just get some random guy to do something like this.
And also the fact that this is a Lionsgate project, let's not forget about that.
Yeah, they already screwed up the Hunger Games trilogy and all the Expendables movies,
I mean,
so...
I'm going to say, the first Hunger Games was not
No,
bad.
that's almost like having, like, Robert Downey Jr. play, like, Frank Woods. Like, what?
I mean, I could see that, honestly, though, now that you say that.
I don't know, maybe.
To an extent, I could kind of see RDJ doing Frank Woods some level of justice.
Any role anywhere needs to be filled. MCU fans, an MCU actor would be great. Like, no.
I said that out of sarcasm.
I can understand. Sorry.
Like, maybe Jake Gyllenhaal and Benedict Cumberbatch, but like, a lot of those Marvel actors are not good, but the Borderlands cast, they aren't even Marvel actors. They're just actors we don't really hear much from.
I think Anthony Mackie would have been... Falcon would have been great for Roland. Just saying.
Anthony Mackie as Roland, yeah, I could see that. For Lilith? Fuck, I don't know.
Wouldn't mind seeing, you know who? Nebula. The lady who... Yes.
Nebula
Yes. I would have loved to see her as Lilith, because A, she's young enough, B, she kind of looks like her, and C, no need for hair dye.
Also, with like how she plays, like thinking about like the character comparison of like Lilith and Nebula, I can kind of see that translating well.
Mm-hmm. People argued Scarlett Johansson, and I'm like, no, Scarlett Johansson's a little older. You could get her to play... You know who Jamie Lee Curtis could have played? Helena Pierce. Because she's older. Well, if you're going to get an old person to play somebody, get them to play old
CGI. They'll just like...
This is a Borderlands movie. But like, here's the thing I'm wondering. When is this taking place? Is this going to be like a story that's like based off of the first game?
Well, from the way it sounds right now, this might just be a fucking spoof movie at this point. It's going to be like Meet the Spartans.
Hold on.
You made me think
It's
about
gonna
it.
be like that attempt at a fucking Monster Hunter film that came out.
That's what my buddy Will said. Will was like, "This is going to be Monster Hunter 2.0. I already know it. It's going to bomb so hard."
Just because
So,
you have a name like
and that's
Mila
my thing.
Jovovich, who, let's keep in mind, was the main player in the Resident Evil live actions.
Those movies were so bad.
I made the mistake of
like,
sitting
let
on
me-
a marathon on all of them back to back.
Let me just put my perspective in this. Like, remember when they casted Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik in the Sonic movie, and we all thought that movie was going to be garbage?
I
And then the
thought it
movie
was
came
gonna
out
be-
it did very well, and Jim Carrey was probably the best part of that whole movie.
Jim Carrey fit the role of Dr. Robotnik well, in my opinion.
Like, at first, we think this is it doesn't sound good, but when we watch it, we're like, holy shit! they
Okay,
pulled it off.
homie, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Build the set? So the only thing they'd have to do is they'd have to build the set to where all of the guys rolling fights are standing in a pit, and Kevin Hart's standing on top of like a extension ladder, a step ladder or some shit. Which,
Just have
funny
Kevin
enough,
Hart on stilts.
where they pulled that, where they could pull that trick from is in the movie Fast 5 from the Fast and Furious franchise. It is actually not very well known. So everybody, when you see that movie, you think Vin Diesel and The Rock are just as big as each other. They're not. Vin Diesel's actually hella short, and The Rock's hella tall. So when they had that fight scene done, they had it to where The Rock was actually walking in a path, in like a set path, and Vin Diesel was on a raised piece of concrete walkway the entire fight. So they made it look like they were head to head. Every time they're on screen together, the reason why all their shit's shot from like legs up is because Vin Diesel's actually standing on a box the entire fucking time. He is standing on like a bit of stairs.
Mm.
The Fast and the
And
Furious
that's-
movies are literally just a bunch of bald guys fighting each other in cars.
Well, that's my thing. Again, Samuel keeps laughing at me and you know, me and Jackson, and we keep crying over it, but it's a number of days until they cast The Rock as Brick.
Yeah,
He's
it is.
fucking right.
You know, as much as like I say it as a joke, man, we have a perfectly good actor to play Brick. Batista.
And his name is Dave Bautista.
Yeah, the perfect actor. To play Brick.
This movie
And
right here is about the only time I would say this should be a WWE film. So many people who could play these characters. They're used to dressing up. They're used to doing this. They could totally do it.
it could work.
It's also crazy because I think if this Borderlands movie somehow does good, just like the Sonic movie, there's gonna be a good chance the video game movie genre is probably gonna fucking spark up again.
Well, and that's exactly it too. Is my thing with this is just because you get a big name actor for your video game movie does not mean it's going to be good. Let us go back, or accurate to the source material. Let us go back to Doom with The Rock and Carl Urban from 2004. Let us go back. Yeah, Semper Fi, motherfucker. Now that was a good movie. Don't get me wrong, but it was not a Doom movie.
I need to see it.
Great action flick. Perfect. Great.
Like Tomb Raider film.
Tomb Raider film. See, the funny thing is, I loved the new Tomb Raider film. Great
loved
film. It was perfect. It went along with the games, and in a sense, you know what the funniest people hate on her, but Angelina Jolie's movies also kind of went along with those games from those times.
Yeah,
exactly. Like,
but
the films that were made fit the times for the games that they were based off of. The thing that I feel like is going to be difficult for Borderlands, now that we kind of bring that up, if this is going to be based off the first Borderlands really hasn't aged that well, I feel like, for the sake of like source material purposes.
Well, not to mention the story
of
the story was dry as shit in the first game. You know, it was just another sci-fi shooter. Don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to go back and play it at some point in the near future because I do miss the nostalgia factor of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you do have to kind of start with Borderlands 1 because you do kind of need to play Borderlands 1 in order to understand some things from Borderlands 2, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know, it's just
one thing I want to say about like video game movies in general is like the thing is like a lot of the times in games, what's more fun is what you do outside of the main story. So, you have these 60, 70-hour games, but you have to take all of that free roaming, all of that, fun stuff you did, and put it in a 2-hour movie. Like, think about Borderlands 3, for example. Like, think about, like, we'll stick with Borderlands, what did you do when you got to Eden 6? You hopped in General Grievous's wheel bike and rode around and fought dinosaurs for a while. And then you went in.
And then you saved Ice-T from inside of one.
Yeah, exactly. And then you went to the Hammerlock estate and you did all the story stuff, So you have a lot of stuff that just gets locked because you can't put that in a 2-hour movie. That's why I think video games need to move to TV shows, because there's a lot more time.
Video games need to follow the Witcher. Witcher, it doesn't. You can't you can't just have it be a regular TV show, because does anybody here remember Defiance?
No. What the hell is that?
Show.
So Defiance was meant to be like an open world kind of. It was an open world, like it's post-apocalyptic Earth kind of, and monsters and shit have taken over the world, and there's a different races of aliens that are on the planet. And they're all affected differently by like something in the environment. I don't remember a whole lot of it, but either way, the TV show was on Sci-Fi, and y'all know how Sci-Fi shows go. They're usually trash. So it was to the point where it's just video game shows cannot go on regular cable. You have to put them on a streaming service, and please, for the love of God, not on Disney Plus, because I'm so tired of these drip feeding episodes. Netflix just needs to pick the ball up and run with it. Just go, charge, run. Netflix or Hulu. Episodic stories. That's why The Walking Dead works, because The Walking Dead is a 30-part comic book series. And
it went on for too long.
It's went on for too long. Yes, but that's because it's something that you need to create it, let it have a shelf life, and let it end the way it needs to end. Like if Halo, everybody's like, "Oh, I want a Halo movie." Halo could totally be done in a TV show, and in a Netflix series. That would be nice. Or HBO, where HBO gives Game of Thrones an hour-long episode.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah, Paramount something where you get an hour of a straight hour, no commercials of just this show. Don't get it interrupted. Nothing. Look at Yellowstone. Look at Game of Thrones. Look at all these fucking shows that they have right now that are that were prospering. And then look at The Walking Dead. Oh my God, something's about to happen. Commercial break. Okay, cool. There goes the intensity.
Yeah, it kind of kills the vibe.
I mean,
okay, so I think that is a good place as ever to end off. So I'll let Easton take us out. Is Easton first off, is Easton here?
He might have disconnected.
Okay. Then in that case, I'll just. So thank you guys for checking out.
Talking this entire time, and I've had low bar connection. The fuck?
Oh, there you are. Hi.
I've been trying to interject this whole time, and y'all couldn't hear me the entire time.
We actually just asked you to do the outro.
Yeah.
I heard. I've been hearing everything. Y'all just haven't been able to hear me. But yeah. So, anyways, outro time. Yeah. So we talked about it a lot today. Starting off, of course, with our thoughts on Firebase Z. That definitely. Firebase Z has been a great addition to the Dark Ether story, and I'm really looking forward to where the story goes from there, which we will see how things are going to be going forward with Outbreak, with the launch of Season 2 for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War coming next Thursday, February 25th. I am really excited about all the stuff they're adding, the new weapons, bringing back some classic game modes, some multiplayer. There's a lot of content that's going to be coming right out the gate with the new tiers, the new upgrades, and stuff like that. And then, of course, tying things up with a little not with talking about film and talking about how things really should be going forward for this kind of stuff, which I really like the ideas that I like these conversations that we get to have every time we get to meet, because it really brings a lot of ideas to the table that normally we as a friend group normally don't get around to just talking about normally, because we're just having fun playing games. But now that we've kind of created this little platform for us to be able to take time out of so many weeks between however long it is between recording episodes, like whether it's 2 or 3 weeks, as we have planned, to try to record these and get them out on the channel. It's a nice chance to like recap everything that's happened and just kind of get everybody's thoughts and kind of, learn about each other's interests a little bit more and how we look at things in a general process more than we would normally get whenever we're just hanging out in like a Discord call or Xbox Live party, things like that. And I really just think that this is going to be a great series just in general with the PogTakesPogcast. And I hope y'all are enjoying just listening to all of this as we go episode to episode, talking about the things that are currently happening around us. And if you like what you're hearing, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, PogTakesPog, on YouTube, and make sure to follow us on Twitter at PogTakesPog. And we're going to be working on trying to get a bunch of other series going out right now, because like over the past couple of weeks, we had like the videos from whenever myself, Jackson, Spike, and Sam went through and played the World War II Easter eggs because of just wanting to do it. And we're like, hey, this would be good content. Like,
Good
for example, Mike's working on his own little like top 5 series. Well, whenever he has the first episode out, you'll probably see it if you're subscribed to the channel and hit the bell for notifications, of course. But yeah, just in general, I hope you all have enjoyed this episode of PogTakesPogcast, and we will see y'all in the next one.